we had finished up to the 39th Sutra. So in this section, Narada is telling us what is it that will help us to cultivate devotion. In the previous section, we were told the sadhana. To cultivate devotion, to intensify our devotion, what exactly we should be doing was given to us in the previous sutras. Now over here, we've already gone through the 38th Sutra. We were in the 39th. The teacher tells us this bhakti or devotion can be gained or can be cultivated. See, we all think it's very, very easy for us. Oh, bhakti I have to bring into my life. It looks very easy for us. It seems very easy for us. But it is not so easy. To cultivate that devotion that Narada is talking about, or that devotion which our acharyas have practiced and reached the Lord, is not very, very easy. Though over here the teacher told us that amongst all the paths, Bhakti Marga or the path of devotion is very, very easy. But even there, still, will it so easily come to us? No, it won't so easily come to us. And therefore, what is it that will help us to cultivate devotion and walk the path of devotion to reach the Lord? In the 38th Sutra, the teacher told us Mahat Kripa. Mahat Kripa means the grace and blessing. Grace. Whose grace is required for us? The grace of our masters. The grace of all the Mahanubhavas, the Bhaktas who have already walked the path. The saints, the prophets, the Jivan Muktas. Their grace is necessary for us. Means Guru over there. Without the Guru's grace, Jnana is also not possible, Bhakti also is not possible. Why? We've already seen Jnana and Bhakti are two sides of the same coin. So over here in the 38th Sutra, the teacher had told us the grace of our masters or the grace of the Lord. He writes or over, he says or over there. It doesn't say and. So or means either this or that. Then we start questioning which is better, grace of Bhagavan is better or grace of our masters is better. Both are one and the same. The teacher will tell us later on. God's grace and the Guru's grace are one and the same. Why? Because the Guru has reached that level. In that Jivan Mukti state, he is Sakshat Parabrahma, who the Guru. So whether we say the grace of our master or whether we say the grace of the Lord, both are one and the same. We are not to differentiate between the two of them. And in the 39th shloka which we had gone through last time, so next is for us to find a Guru. Is it easy for us to find a Guru? It's not very easy at all. I think we went through that. Mahat Sangastu. The Sangha or the association of men of knowledge, men of wisdom, the great bhaktas, the saints, the seers, prophets, our masters. Is it easy for us to get associated with them? It's not easy at all. The teacher says over here, Durlabhaha. Very difficult for us to reach a master. So the teacher over here tells us it's not so easy for us to come under the shelter, to come under the refuge of a master. In Viveka Chudamani, right in the beginning, Adi Shankara tells us, Durlabham, he says, very difficult. These three, what are the three? Manushatva, we're all human beings, but do we have humane qualities in us, good qualities in us, which will help us to walk the path, the spiritual path? So humane qualities, manushatva, mumukshatva, that longing and that craving that should be there in us to reach the Lord. If that is not there, jnana becomes null and void for us, bhakti also becomes null and void for us. So therefore, that longing and craving to reach the Lord should be there in us. Only then we will think of pursuing any path according to our constitution, whether it is jnana or bhakti or karma or whatever it is. And then the third very important factor is Maha Purusha Samshrayaha, he says over there. to come under the protection of a Mahapurusha, a saint, a guru, a master. These three are very, very rare. If at all they are there in us, he says it's not because of you. It's not because of our own personal effort. I did this, I practiced this, and therefore I've got all these three in my life. The teacher over there very clearly says it's all because of the Lord's grace. So if we are good, honest, kind, loyalty is there, truthfulness is there, all the good qualities are there in us. We are walking the path of Dharma. We are on the spiritual path, practicing knowledge or bhakti or karma, whatever it is. And we have come under the wings of a master. It's not because of our personal effort. It's all because of Bhagavad Kripa. So therefore, very difficult for us to find out who is a guru, because externally he looks just like any one of us. So how will we decide, or how will we know, how will we understand who is a guru, who is a Jivan Mukta, who has had Ishvara Darshana? Agamyaha, that word over there, means again very difficult. Durlabha means difficult to get in our lives. Agamyaha means very difficult to know. A Mahatma may be there just in front of us, but he looks so humble, simple he looks. So Durlabha and Agamyaha, very difficult for us to know who is a master, because somebody can put on a show of the characteristics of a guru. So how will we really know who is ultimately going to help us to walk the path, which is no doubt difficult. But if in our lives we get a guru, we come under his grace, then the teacher says over here, Amogha it is. I mean, once the teacher has taken us under her wings or his wings, assured, fulfillment will be there. We will be able to walk the path successfully. There is no fall afterwards for us. Why? The Guru has taken us under his wings. How can we fall? How can there be anything untoward that can happen to a person when the grace of the Guru is there with us? Is what the 39th Sutra tells us. In the 40th one, Labhyate api tat kripaya eva. So the next is, how will we be able to get the grace of a master, get the grace of a guru? So either we have to approach the guru, or the guru has to come into our life. I did earlier say we can't go in search of a guru. When the right time comes, the guru will come into our lives. So therefore we have to wait. Now how do we know? And or what is it? What is that X factor which will make the Guru come into our lives, or we will be able to meet our Guru? Again over here the teacher says this is possible only with the grace of Bhagavan. So both of them actually are one and the same. Grace of the Guru and grace of the Lord are both one and the same. If at all in our lives we are fortunate, we are blessed to have a Guru in our lives who is guiding us step by step, stage by stage on the spiritual path that we are walking, whatever be the path. How did we meet the Guru? How did the Guru come into our lives? It is only because of the grace of Bhagavan. That's what Shankara says in his Viveka Chuda. All these three are very rare, and if at all they are there in our lives, it is only because of the grace of the Lord. So again, sometimes we can get confused, because for us Guru is different, Lord is different. Guru's grace is different, Lord's grace is different. But over here the teacher is explicitly, the teacher is with no doubt telling us both of them are one and the same. So the teacher has to over here endorse it for us. Narada has to endorse it for us. Therefore, in the 41st Sutra, they all go together, the sutras. He says, Tasmin tat jane bedha bhavat, which means Tasmin. Tasmin means in the Lord, and also Tajjane in his devotees. In his devotees mean the saints, the masters. So between the two of them, between the Lord and the Guru or the Acharyas or the masters on the other side, whose grace we have, whose grace has descended upon us, the teacher says there is no difference whatsoever at all between the two of them. So Guru's grace is Lord's grace and Lord's grace is Guru's grace. We are not to separate them out. Again, in the Guru Gita, it's very clearly said, Shiva tells Parvati, he tells her, nobody should make a distinction between the Lord and the Guru. Both are one and the same. That is why we say Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. Guru Sakshat Parabrahma he is. He is even beyond the Trinity. And who is he? He is Parabrahma himself. Parabrahma for us is God. Whether we give to him a name and a form or we invoke him as the nameless, the formless. So over here, therefore, between the Guru and between the Lord, the teacher says absolutely there is no difference whatsoever at all. Both of them are one and the same. So if the Guru's grace is there on us, Lord's grace is there on us. And therefore what should we do? Now we should start walking the path. The sadhana has already been told. The teacher has given it to us in the previous section. The Guru has entered into our lives. So his grace is there on us. And his grace is nothing but God's grace only on us. Next, what should be? So we are in a very good satsang. Sangha means association, to attach ourselves. Sat means good. So satsanga means we are in the company of the good. Here we are in the company of our master. Will it help us? Of course it will help us. Again, Shankara in his Bhajagovindam very beautifully says, there's one shloka over there. He says, Satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalatatvam, nischalatatve jivan muktihi. So there in Bhajagovindam, Shankara says, he starts with satsang, the company of the wise, the company of the good, the company of our masters, our Guru. Where will it lead us to? It will definitely lead you to Jivan Mukti, is what Adi Shankara is saying over there. Why? In the company of the Guru, in the company of good people, in the company of the wise people, knowledge will come to us. Where knowledge is there, discrimination will come to us. Viveka will come to us. Where Viveka or discrimination is there, automatically Vairagya will come to us. Detachment will come to us. Earlier the teacher had told us it was also one of the most important requirement to practice or to cultivate bhakti. So Vairagya will come to us because of the discrimination. Nisangatva means dispassion. And once that happens, nirmohatva. All the illusion and the delusion will go away from our lives. Why are we deluded? Because of the illusion in us. We have mixed up the two, what is real and what is unreal. We have no idea about it. And therefore, the real we have taken it to be the unreal, and the unreal we have taken it to be the real. It's as simple as that. That's what is called as moha. So that moha will go away from us. Why? Ignorance has gone away. It's only in darkness that we can mistake something for something else. Now when we are in the light of spiritual knowledge, we see things as they are. So the real will be seen as the real and the unreal will be seen as the unreal. Once that comes, the mind is full of calmness, serenity is there, poise is there, tranquility is there. Meditation becomes very, very easy. Nischala Chittam. Or in some versions, it is Nischala Tattvam. The knowledge that the teacher gives to us will stay in us, will become our knowledge, which we can put into practice in our sadhana. Once we do that, Jivan Mukti sure is what the Lord says. Earlier we had seen in the 39th Sutra, Mahat Sangastu Amogascha. Once we have come under the wings of a master, there can never ever be a fall for us. We may walk slowly, but then sure he will help us and guide us so that we can reach our destination. So the beautiful shloka in the Bhaja Govinda. Purandara Dasaru says, Haridasara Sangha Dorakitu Yenagiga Innenu. That innenu means he is literally reveling over there. He is so overjoyous. Why? Haridasara Sangha, Mahat Satsanga has come into my life. Now what more? What more? I am already on the threshold. I just have to take one step across the threshold, and from the realm of mortality I will reach the realm of immortality. So therefore lot of importance is given to satsang over there. So this section the teacher concludes in Sutra 42. He concludes by saying Tadeva Sadhyatam twice. Means there is an insistence over there. And also in our scriptures, whenever a word or a phrase is repeated, it means that line of thought has been concluded. So the next topic is going to start. So therefore, Tadeva Sadhyatam, 2 times. Sadhyata means this alone should be accomplished. This alone should be accomplished. So if we want to walk the spiritual path, Bhakti Marga, and reach the Lord, now we know what all has to come into our lives. It won't come overnight. It may not even come in a few days. Slowly in stages. Lord is there, He knows everything, and the laws of nature are also there. So everything will happen at the right time. But for that, a little bit of effort we have to do from our side. Wherever we are, I did say earlier, wherever we are, we should start opening up. If the bud is as it is, no bee will come to it. Therefore, the bud has to open up, then the bee will come. So, bud opening up means expanding. And once the bud expands to become, opens up, blooms to become a flower, then it looks so beautiful. The shape of the flower is so beautiful. The color scheme is so beautiful. The fragrance is so beautiful. So a little bit of effort from our side. Manushatva should be there. Mumukshatva should be there. That's all the little effort we have to, again that also we will be able to do only with the Lord's grace. Then the Guru will come into our lives. And once he comes, rest assured, he will help us to walk the path. Therefore, the teacher is concluding this section by saying, this alone is to be done. This alone is to be done. What else? There is nothing else for us to do. Because all things and all beings, we've already seen, are relative in our life. They come and go, come and go. That is why we call all our relatives as relative. In science, especially in physics, whenever we use the word relative, it means that which is variable, that which is changeable, or that which changes. If there is something which does not change, what is the term we use? We use the term absolute. Absolute means changeless, eternal, permanent, ever there. Opposite of that is relative. Relative means everything keeps changing in space and time. That's how Einstein has given to us the theory of relativity, where everything keeps changing. Space measurements change, time measurements change. Nothing is absolute. So in this relative world where everything keeps changing in space and time, rest assured, only when we lean on to the Lord who is absolute, fulfillment can be there for us. Otherwise, when things come and go in our lives, when people come and go in our lives, we will be tossed up and down between joy and sorrow, grief, profit, loss, victory, defeat, honor, dishonor. They will constantly keep visiting us one after the other. So therefore the teacher is saying, this alone is to be accomplished. This alone is to be accomplished. Now whenever this is a positive picture that Narada has given to us. If we want to really walk the path of devotion, He told us this is the sadhana that we have to do. So positive over there. And also, if bhakti must come into our life, if it should enrich us, the guru must come into our life. Dasaru says, Guruvina gulama naguva tanaka doredanna mukuti. So unless and until we are under the gaze of our master, it's very difficult to walk the spiritual path. We will not know what is right, we will not know what is wrong, we will not know what to do, we will not know what not to do, etc. So it will always be there. Therefore, the Guru has to come into our life. When the Guru comes into our life, means his grace is there on us, it's equivalent to the Lord's grace on us. No doubt it is difficult. But then if it happens in our life, sure fulfillment and success around the corner for us. Therefore, it should be done, it should be done. This is a positive side which has been presented to us. Normally, as a contrast, the other side also should be shown to us. If we know what success is, somebody talks about success, etc. Even in the materialistic realm, in our own samsar, if somebody talks about success, we should also know what all constitute failure. What are the precautions that we have to take? What are the errors that may creep in when we are engaged in a particular field of activity? Why? Success we seek. We have entered, this is the goal. Therefore, we have entered to accomplish the goal or achieve the goal, we have entered into a particular field of activity. Once we have entered into that field of activity over there, then we should also know all the pitfalls, where all we can make errors, where all we can go wrong, what all mistakes we can have, we can commit over there. Therefore, the precautions that we should take, all that side also should be presented to us in any experiment in science, physics class. Any experiment the children have to do in the lab, the aim of the experiment is given, what all is needed is given, the procedure is given, this is the result you have to get, that also is given, and also over there precautions, errors are also given over there. So that they know when they are conducting the experiment, they are aware. Once they are aware, then chances are errors will become minimized, they will not commit any mistakes, they have taken all the precautions that have to be taken, and therefore sure they will get the result. Similarly over here also, the other side has to be presented to us, so that we know both contrast. So when satsang is being glorified so much, satsang with great masters, if that is glorified so much in this section, the next section has to tell us the opposite of it. Supposing we get into the opposite company, what will become our lot has to be told to us. So from Sutra 43 up to 45, 43, 44, 3 sutras over here, the teacher is talking about the opposite of satsang. The opposite of satsang is dussanga. So in the I'll read all the 3 sutras because they are all connected with each other, and then we will go through the meaning of it. 43, 44 and 45. Dussangaha sarvata eva tyajyaha. That is 43rd sutra. 44th one. Kama, krodha, moha, smriti, bramsha, buddhi nasha, sarvanasha karanatvat is the 44th sutra. And the 45th one. Taranga ita api ime sangan samudra yanti. So we'll see the meaning of it. So in the 43rd sutra, the teacher says, Dussangaha, opposite of Satsanga. Sat means good. Du means bad. Duryodhana, Dushasana, du comes over there. Durbuddhi. So wherever we add du, mostly it means the opposite of good. So Sangha means attachment, association. So Dussangaha, the company of the bad, evil company. What will it do to us? Here the teacher, tyajya, totally it has to be given. Sarvata eva means insisting over there. Sarva means all evil company we have to give up. Again, evil company only doesn't mean people over there. We don't meet any people, but we see all the wrong things. We hear all the wrong things which should not be heard. We are reading not good material. That also is evil company. So it doesn't only mean people. It means everything. Whatever our sense organs meet. We hear, we see, we hear, we smell, we taste. Even food, yes. Sattvic food will make up the sattvic aspect in us. Will build up the sattvic aspect in us. Supposing we eat all the wrong food, tamasic food, then the tamasic aspect in us will get reinforced. So we won't be able to progress in our lives, especially spiritually. Therefore, here we are more so talking about company of people. So there it was Mahatsanga or Satsanga, here it is Dussanga. Sarva means all Dussanga. All evil company must be shunned or avoided. Totally, eva, insisting over there. It should be. We can't say this person is not so bad. Never mind. That not so bad person only may pull us down. It may not be in a day, it may not be in 2 days. But slowly, gradually, we come under the influence of evil company, evil people. Slowly it will happen to us. The mind will slowly start yielding afterwards. And before we know, we would have fallen. And afterwards, to get back will be very, very difficult. So therefore, the teacher says, Dussangaha sarvata eva tyajyaha. Dussanga must be totally and totally given up if we want to walk the spiritual path. Not only spiritual path, anything that we want to excel in. Students, as good students, in school, every year there is a certificate given also. Character conduct certificate is given. And whenever they have to apply in a college for pre-university or afterwards the university, everybody will always ask for a character conduct certificate. So as students, they may shun evil company. At school level, at college level, and later on in our lives, wherever we are working. Why? It can drastically bring us down. Going down is very easy, but climbing up is very difficult. Literally, physically also, physically because law of gravitation is there, earth's pull is there. But within also, it's always, we are against gravity when we want to go higher and higher. Even for the inner equipment. For the mind to fall is very easy. But for the mind to rise is very difficult. Therefore, the teacher says we should check up what type of company we have around us and about us. And the moment we know that this is evil company, not good for us, neither for our materialistic evolution, nor for our spiritual evolution, we must completely give it up. In total, we should give it up. What is the harm if we keep it? So what if there are a few bad people around us and about us? I've got so many good friends. One person, she's not a little alright, or he's not a little alright, little bit of negative qualities are there. So what? Let them remain. We may say that. But the teacher over here in the 44th shloka is telling us what will happen to us if we are in the company of bad people. One sequence is given over here. Kama means desire. Krodha means anger or rage, wrath. Moha means delusion. Smriti Bramshaha, loss of memory. Smriti means memory. So Bramsha means loss, destruction. So Smriti Bramshaha means loss of memory. After that, Buddhi Nashaha, loss of discrimination. Then Sarvanasha means total ruin or total collapse. Karanatvat. Why Dussanga become? Karanatvat means Dussanga become the cause of all these things. This is the chain of reaction, chain of events which will happen in our life if we keep the company of the evil, or if we get into dussanga. So if we are in dussanga, if we are in evil company, that becomes the cause of, karana it becomes, for all these things to happen in our life. Starting from kama up to sarvanasha. One by one, it's like going down step by step, step by step, step by step. Going down, it won't go step by step. The fall will be drastic. So first kama will happen to us, then krodha will come to us, then moha will come to us, smriti bhramshaha will happen to us, buddhi nasha will happen, and finally sarvanasha also will happen. Is what the teacher is telling us over here. So for this, there is a very beautiful shloka, in 2 shlokas in the Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, when Krishna is talking to Arjuna about sthita prajna, lakshanas. Arjuna asks the Lord, I want to know the characteristics of a man of wisdom, steady wisdom, in a master. What are his characteristics? So when Krishna is enumerating all of that, in the context, he tells us how easy it is to fall. All these terms which have come over here in Sutra 44 are there in those 2 shlokas, in the 2nd chapter. I am just reading it out. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshupajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bijayate krodhat bhavati sammohaha sammohat smriti vibhramaha smriti bhramshat buddhi nashaha buddhi nashat pranashyati. The same terms in the Bhagavad Gita and the same terms over here also in Narada Bhakti Sutra. So if we get into dussanga, bad company, what will happen to us has been indicated here and has been indicated by Krishna also in the Bhagavad Gita. There he says, Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. Pumsaha means a person, human being. So if we, vishayan means vishaya vastus. All the tempting things that are there in the world outside. It need not be things, it can be beings also. We get attached to, we are overwhelmed by beautiful things. We are overwhelmed by and we are attached to also beings. So Vishaya Vastu doesn't only mean sense objects. Anything that is there outside of us, it can be a thing, it can be a being. So what will happen? Dhyayato. Once we start thinking about it. So Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. We just start thinking about something. It looks so innocent. I just started thinking, I'm only thinking about it. How can I fall? Spiritually, how can I fall? Or even materialistically, how can I fall? I just thought about it. Bhagavan said the moment you start thinking of anything, thing or a being, whatever it is, Sangha will happen to us. Why? The frequency of our thoughts becoming more and more and more with respect to that thing or that being, it unconsciously in us we start developing an attachment towards it. Sangha means attachment. It's not a physical bondage, it is a psychological bondage. The thing is there. We saw it. It is so beautiful. We should have said, okay, it's beautiful, it's beautiful. There are many things in the world which are so beautiful. All of them need not be in our house, or all of them need not be in our possession. But we don't stop over there. Slowly, we keep sending our thoughts gradually towards that beautiful object. The frequency keeps increasing. Yesterday we thought about it, let's say 5 times. I'm just giving an example. Today it's more. It's not 5 times. Morning also I was thinking about it. In the before noon also I was thinking about it. The number of thoughts invested on that particular object today has increased from yesterday. The third day it increases even more. What is it that is actually happening over there? We are connecting ourselves with that object which is far away from us. That is called attaching ourselves to it. The object is there, we are there. We should have just said it's beautiful, that's it. But every moment we are thinking about it, then what happens? We develop an attachment towards it. Sangasteshu pajayate. Then what happens? Bhagavan says, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. That's the first term over here in Sutra 44. So Krishna has elaborately narrated it or given it out to Arjuna there in the Gita. So once this attachment keeps increasing, it will slowly develop into a desire. That object is there and we are over here. Now I want that object to be with me, to come into my possession. I want my rights over it. I want ownership over it. That is what is called as a desire. Desire means I want it for myself. So therefore, attachment leads to desire. Objects are many. Or one object let us take. It's so beautiful. How many people are there who are desiring it? Many people will be desiring for one object. Objectively, it can't go into everybody's house. That one object. Only one person can somehow or the other claim it and make it his own or her own. So out of 100 people, only one person's desire will get fulfilled with respect to that one object. 99 people sure are going to get disappointed. What will happen to those 99 people who got disappointed? We all know in our life, we've got so many, all of us have so many desires. How many of our desires got fulfilled? 0.001%. The remaining times, whenever we desired something and it did not come into our life, for whatever reason, we wanted it, but we couldn't get it for ourselves. Disappointment happened. What was our condition at that particular point of time? Krishna is saying over there, Kamat Krodho Bijayate. Over here in this 44th Sutra also, after Kama comes Krodha. Immediately anger, restlessness, anxiety. I did not get it, but she got it. Therefore, anger towards her. Anger towards the object also. It did not become mine, but it has gone to that person. And this is not ordinary anger. The more we wanted we craved for that object, directly proportional the anger will be. So it will become a rage in us. It will become a wrath in us. How dare she get it? I did not get it. So what will be the emotion in us? The same desire that we had within us, that same emotion of Kama now becomes the emotion of Krodha. So we know sometimes how wild we become, how angry we become. Why? Just because I did not get something and she got it or he got it or whatever it is. Once anger comes to us, fumes of anger, even in English we say, that person got blinded by anger. When that emotion of anger becomes too much, its intensity, they say, literally a person can become blind also, literally. But we use this word, blinded by anger. What does it mean? Once anger comes, once this Krodha comes to us, it's like fumes. When fumes are there in front of us, we can't see anything that is there in front of us. So therefore what happens? Moha happens to us. The fumes of Krodha actually will fully cover up or veil up whatever little good sense we had, good knowledge we had in us. Even maybe we had some good qualities also in us. But everything will get covered up. And after that, I am not me. That's it. Why? Moha has happened. Once that veiling happened, that covering happened, those fumes of Krodha are there. Covering, what will it cover up? Smriti, memory. So we will lose our connectivity with Smriti. Smriti Bramshaha. Over here, Kamat Krodho Bijayate, Krodhat Bhavati Sammohaha, Sammohat Smriti Vibramaha. Loss of memory. It's like short circuiting. Switch off. Not that the current is there, but we switch it off. So all the memory that we have in us, what is that memory? Memory system is wherein we have put things into that portion, wherein I know what all is good for me, we know what all is not good for us. Everything is there. But somehow now we are not able to connect with it. So when we check up with our memory, we want to check with our memory, so what should I be doing? Is it good for me? Am I in this particular emotion that has overwhelmed me? Is it okay for me, safe for me, or not safe for me? We will not be able to connect with that memory at all. So it looks like loss of memory. Memory system will fail us at that time. I'm sure in small little doses we have experienced it. So the moment krodha comes to us, moha happens to us, we get overwhelmed by this krodha, and once that happens, smriti vibhramaha in the Bhagavad Gita, totally we will get disconnected from our memory. Once we get disconnected from our memory, intellect will fail us. Because it's the intellect that always checks up with the memory. Whatever we see with our eyes. And then the mind registers it. Mind can't take a decision. It checks up with the intellect. It tells the intellect, this is there in front of me. Should I go for it or should I not go for it? Should I approach it or I should not approach it? Mind is asking the intellect. Intellect says, wait. For me to decide, I have to check up the files that are there in me. What file? Memory files. So the intellect checks up. It passes on the information or it opens up the files and checks up in the memory. In the memory, it is there previously recorded that this thing is not good for us. So if we consume it or if we take it, it's not good for us. Maybe health-wise, whatever it is. So then, once the memory system tells the intellect in turn tells the mind, and the mind in turn tells the hand, don't go for it. Let's say a diabetic person. They are always fascinated by sweets. They love sweets, but they are not supposed to eat sweet. Kama is there. So, desire for sweets is there. I am not able to get the sweets. Everybody else is eating it. Anger will come. Once that anger comes, everybody is enjoying. I am not able to enjoy. That will happen. So it's a mixture of, it's a turbulence inside that is happening. And once that happens, moha comes. And then covers up what? It will cover up our memory system. So the hand is trying to reach out to the sweet because the eyes have seen the sweet. And then the mind tells us the intellect, should we go for the sweet? Should I tell the hand, go and take the sweet in your hand and then put it into your mouth? Mind asks the intellect. Intellect says, wait, let me check up in the memory system. In the memory files, it's recorded for that person that this particular person is highly diabetic and should not be eating sweets. If he or she eats sweets, these things will happen. It's there in the memory system. So when the memory tells the intellect in turn warns, takes a decision and warns the mind. It says, mind, tell the hand not to proceed further. Restrain. We have to restrain ourselves. So once the intellect tells the mind will not allow the hand to move forward. Then we are saved. But what happens in most of the cases is, when the intellect approaches the memory system, memory fails over there. Once the memory fails, the intellect doesn't know what to do. Because it tried to check up in the memory files, but it did not get an answer. And therefore, when the memory smriti has failed, intellect also will fail the person. When the intellect fails a person, mind will do just what it wants to do. Because mind can never ever decide properly. It's the intellect that takes proper good decisions, of course with the help of the smriti. So once both of them, the smriti and the buddhi, have failed a person, the mind will just go and indulge itself in whatever is there in front of it, and then we know the consequences. If it is a diabetic person, we will know what will happen. They will go for the sweet, and then we know what can happen to that person. So therefore loss of memory is loss of intellect, buddhi nasha. Sammohat smriti vibramaha, smriti bramshat buddhi nashaha, buddhi nashat pranashyati. Here it is smriti bramshat buddhi nasha sarvanasha. Sarvanasha means we will completely collapse. The personality has totally collapsed. We have fallen. Stage by stage we have fallen. Here it is all given stage by stage, but this fall will be very, very drastic. It will be very, very quick. And even by the time we are even aware of it, we have fallen out. It will be a very big fall for us. That's what the teacher is telling us over here. All because of the company that we have kept. The evil company that we have kept will lead to kama, then that will become krodha, that will in turn transform itself to moha. From moha, all modifications and variations of that same kama only. And how did that kama come? Because of evil company. See how the transformation happen, the change happen. Kama itself will become krodha. Krodha will in turn bring moha to a person. Because of moha, memory is switched off. Smriti bramsha. Because of that, intellect fails us. When the intellect fails us, buddhi nasha, sarva nasha. Mind will just go and do whatever it wants to do. That's why they call it as a monkey. It won't sit on one branch steadily even for a few seconds. And even if it is sitting on a branch for a few seconds steadily, it's restless. That's what Arjuna asked Krishna in the 6th chapter. Mana is chanchala Krishna. You're asking me to bring it into steadiness. I don't think it is possible, he said. So mind will just do what it wants to do. It is impulsive. Mind is always very, very impulsive. Mind is represented by Arjuna. Krishna is the intellect. Though Arjuna is the owner of the chariot, but still the driver is more important over there. Because he is the one who has to take the chariot and the owner of the chariot, Arjuna, to safety, the safe destination. So the driver becomes very important. Who is the driver for Arjuna? Krishna is the driver of the chariot. Partha Sarathi is. So if Arjuna represents the mind, in front of him should be Krishna. So intellect first, then comes the mind. And Krishna is looking at Arjuna also. Intellect is handling the mind on one side, and Krishna has got the reins of the horses also in his hand. What are the horses over there? They represent Arnyanendriyas. So he has got all of them under his control. On one side is the sense organs, on the other side is the mind, and Krishna is the intellect over there. So both of them he is able to handle. Rather, everything has been given into his hand to handle. So if Krishna becomes the charioteer of a person subjectively, sure success, sure victory. So therefore it becomes very important. It's so beautiful, the Mahabharata story. That decision that Arjuna took to ask only for Krishna and give up that entire Yadava army. It was so tempting. Duryodhana was tempted. Krishna said, I on one side and my army on one side. Army will fight, I will not fight. Who choose? And he gave the first choice to Arjuna. Duryodhana was very, very anxious because he wanted the army. And he knows Krishna, if he is on whosever side, he will not fight. He was hoping and hoping, heart of hearts, that Arjuna will not pick up the Yadava army. Arjuna did the most sensible thing. He said, I want you, Krishna. Duryodhana was so happy. He must have thought that this Arjuna is a Parama Muda. He was laughing within himself. He got the army and he went away very happily. Krishna turned to Arjuna and said, "Why did you pick me? You know I will not even fight." He said, "I know you will not fight, but I want you with me." And he said, "I want you to become my driver, the driver of my charioteer. You become my Sarathi," he says. It looks like how can Arjuna make the Lord as his charioteer, Sarathi? He should not be doing it, he should do it. And all of us also must do it. When we are moving in our vehicle called the body, this body is the vehicle in which we are moving, we have to make the Lord sit on the driver's seat and give the steering wheel into his hand, and then we must sit behind. Then he will take us safely to the destination. It's so beautiful it is. So over here, this Sutra 44 so beautifully tells us, as a consequence of the evil company that we have entertained in our life, what all can happen. The fall will be drastic, starting from Kama up to Sarvanasha will happen. Means spiritually we will fall. Even materialistically also a person can just become a zero over there. Fail miserably. In studies it can be, in profession it can be in any field. Then to again gather up momentum, become again positive, and then start walking again, it takes a very long time, because moving ahead and higher is very, very difficult. Moving down is very, very easy. So therefore, this is what the Lord says. And to make it easy for us, the Sutra 45, he says over here, he uses the word tarangaita api ime. He is using an example over here. He says, just as small. Taranga means waves. Waves or even ripples over there. In water, we have ripples over there. If we put a stone into still water, ripples will be created. Ripples means small waves are created. What happens? So what? But then he says over there, these small little ripples or small waves, slowly as they are progressing, Sangat, they will meet another wave, small wave. Both the waves will be joined together and become a bigger wave. This bigger wave again will proceed. It will meet another bigger wave. They will join together. So slowly that which was a ripple, as it gathers speed and moves, slowly it eats up the other ripple or the other small wave, and therefore it grows. How does the wave grow in the ocean? So slowly it grows and finally it will become a tsunami. That which was a small little ripple, it was looking so tiny, insignificant, it was innocent, it was looking. But when it gathers steam and when it gathers momentum, it can become like an ocean itself. Ocean means huge. Ocean is huge. So the ripple becomes as expansive as an ocean itself. The best example is the tsunami wave. So therefore Bhagavan says we should be careful about the company that we keep. In the beginning it looks insignificant. It's okay. In the beginning the person looks very innocent. So what? After all, I meet that person once a week. But we do not know what will happen. Slowly as we engage ourselves with that particular person, we indulge in various activities with that person, Sangha will say slowly that which was a little ripple, how it became an ocean, Samudra. Samudra means ocean. Like that, slowly our mind will change. And those of us who are so sattvic can become tamasic. Those who are walking the path of Dharma can become totally an adharmi. Those of us who are walking the path of righteousness can completely change and become unrighteous in life. A total collapse of the entire human personality at all levels, physical, mental and intellectual. So therefore the teacher is warning us over here with respect to dussanga. So satsanga was indicated to us, its benefits, and therefore we should make an all-out effort and be constantly aware of the company that we keep. And it should always be satsanga. And also what should we avoid in our life? We should avoid dussanga. Why? The teacher has told us. The moment dussanga comes to us, fall is just round the corner for us. Like I said, even materialistic plane as well as spiritual plane. So therefore a warning has been so beautifully given to us. With this, the 45th sutra is over, and in the next sutra over here, in the next few sutras, the teacher very beautifully tells us, now we have started walking the spiritual path. So goal is there. We have started doing our sadhana, walking the path of bhakti, the path of devotion. Lord's grace, we have met our Guru also, and the teacher has put us on the path also. Why are we walking the path of devotion? Ultimately, what is our goal? Whether we are walking the path of bhakti or whether we are walking the path of jnana, what is our goal? What is it that we want to reach? We want to cross over the ocean of samsara. Samsara means realm of change. So we want to go beyond the realm of change and get well established in the changeless, the one without a second. That is what is mukti, moksha, enlightenment, jivan mukti all about. So that's the goal for us. That's the goal that a spiritual seeker will have in his life, whatever be the path he chooses. So he wants to cross over from the realm of mortality, move to the realm of immortality. Will he be able to cross? Question for us. Or who crosses? We can ask Narada, after he has told us this much, we can ask the teacher, sir, you talked about a bhakta, what all he needs to have in his life. He needs to have the Guru in his life, Guru Kripa, Bhagavad Kripa, and then he needs all the sadhana to cultivate and intensify his bhakti, etc., 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 and walk the path. Now he is walking, the spiritual seeker is walking the path and wants to reach that state, having reached which there is no return. We can ask a question, sir, who crosses that path? Is there anybody whom you know who has crossed? Of all these people who are walking the path, seekers are many. Those who have realized are very few. So therefore, who crosses the path? Sorry, who crosses over from this side to the other side of samsara? Who moves from the realm of mortality to the realm of immortality? And this entire realm of change is also called as Maya. So who crosses over this Maya? Can you tell us who crosses over this Maya? That's the next section. Very beautifully it starts with Kastarati Maya. Who crosses over this Maya? Who crosses over this Maya? So the teacher takes up that topic. He himself asks the question also. On our behalf, he says, Kastarati Maya. Who crosses over Maya? Who crosses over Maya? Then we are given a very beautiful, actually who crosses means all those instruction, whatever the teacher is going to tell us or give to us as an answer to that question is what we have to do in our lives and achieve it and attain it. So he asked the question, the answer is not just an answer to be read or to be memorized, it's for all of us to do. If we do it, this particular section will end with such people only cross over Maya. These are the people who will be able to cross over Maya. These are the people who will be able to cross over Maya, who got all these characteristics, which Narada will enumerate for us. And then he says, not only they cross Maya, not only do they cross Maya, but they will help others also to cross over Maya. This is a very beautiful section over here, starting from Sutra 46 up to I think Sutra number 48 or 50. We'll see that. So that we will take it up in the next class.